think you're over adult, you need to be able to sit there and do it like you like, because you are a student that you have your own stuff you need to do. Personally, I think professors who are strict should have a relaxed atmosphere. I believe if you have a relaxed atmosphere, you can learn better. Yes, the professor might have strict rules, but if you follow them and he makes the classroom fun, you're going to learn no matter what. I interviewed one of my professors. His name is David Bueller, and I asked him, and what he thought was, it's the big picture, not the little things that count. It's to make as a teacher's standpoint, it's best for the students' interest, not what if I could do. He said being a teacher is something like you have to help your students learn and grow, and that's why you do it, is to help your students, watch your students learn. As I talked to him, I heard a lot more things come out, and the one thing that really stuck with me was he always said, I would rather take a longer time on one subject than stick to a strict schedule and have none of the students understand it. I believe that's the way a professor should act and should take it, since you are asking him to teach you. And I think if you do have a relaxed atmosphere, it would pay off in the end because you're actually having fun and you're learning. Instead of having some professors be like breathing down your neck, having like making you do like this, and having to go on your own time to learn. As I kept researching about my project, I found there are a lot more crazier professors out there. I was reading on USTodayEducation.com that there's an article talking about a strict professor and how some of them were embarrassing because if their phone went off, they had to stand up, say I'm sorry, answer the phone, then walk out, call them back, come back in, and sit back down. And that was one. Some of the other rules I heard was that you couldn't bring food in class or you were automatically failed. You record his lectures. He would take them from you, take your personal property from you, and then he would sue you for having them. And then if you left during the class, your quiz would automatically be a 0 for that day. And then if you turn your homework in an hour late, your grade was automatically dropped by 1 letter grade. And then there's some other ones. And there was one professor I really read about. It was a huge article that was at Lauderdale State University. I'm not exactly where it's at, but it said that one president was arrested and charged for battery for shutting a laptop closed on a student's hand. So when he had the laptop, it came down and crashed his fingers. Since I guess he slammed it so hard, he ended up suing him and charging him for it. And also, I read one about a guy just got, when the iPhone came out about a year ago, I saw his video of it. He took his cell phone off during class. A professor asked, can I see your cell phone? He gave it to him, didn't want to argue with him, he handed it over. He goes over, goes to the other corner of the room, grabs a block and a sledgehammer, puts his new iPhone 4S on the ground with his little block, breaks his iPhone 4, hand it back, and says, okay, you can sit back down now. Hope you learned your lesson. And I just want to show you what one really looks like. You're going to be lucky after this. This is at Cornell University. His classroom maybe about 200 some people.
Who just did that? No, I want to know. Stand up. We'll stay here until either that person admits who it is or the person sitting around them tells me who it is. Who was it?
If you guys couldn't hear it, it was a guy yawning really loud and obnoxiously.
Nobody knows?
That's what it was.
It was back here? I've been hearing it in this room, like, regularly. And I'm not sure I believe that.
He's not done yet, don't worry.
Let me tell you something, you guys. My bad side is as bad as my pleasant side is pleasant. All right? Don't push me that way. I like to keep things informal in here as much as possible, but understand where the difference between informal and impolite is. And I won't tolerate impolite. If I hear one more of these overly loud yawns, get up and walk the hell out. Yawn outside. Stay out of class. Whatever it is you need to do to get over it. I want to know why 220 other people in this room don't find the need to do that. And you should be asking yourself, why am I the one loser that has to do that and 220 other people know better? Don't push me to this point again. All right. Now, if that didn't ruin the tone for the rest of the class, by the way, if somebody wants to anonymously tell me who it is, please do. Right? A kilobyte. Two of those would be a telegram.
So of course, he seems very crazy. But I'm happy I have a professor here or somewhere else that is not as crazy as them. Because I would hate to have him as one of my professors, because how I personally think nuts he is. But I do feel like if you do have a cell phone, or you don't feel like coming to class today, your professor doesn't have the right to text you or call you after 10 minutes of attendance and say, where are you? Because how small the class was. And I also feel like if you have a cell phone, you should use it as long as you're not being disruptive to others. I was reading in another article from cmlife.com, which is Central Michigan University's basically website, and they're telling you how a student there, she's a freshman, and she believes that she has a right to use her cell phone as long as there was no, as long as she keeps up with her work, basically. And like I said before, you do have strict professors, but how do you get along with them? How to deal with them? Oh, there we go. You just basically try a study group. If you don't like the professor, drop the course. See if there's a professor you like teaching it. It's better off. Maybe go to the professor and ask the right questions. Don't worry to ask questions. But in the end, if you don't get along with your professor and you get upset with them, just ask, respect them, be nice. If you don't get it, go and ask them. Go to tutoring. Go somewhere else. Go ask them. But I do believe that if a professor cannot be ethical and reasonable, and it's not even written on their syllabus, you have a right to go up and talk to someone higher power, either the head of the department or someone here. Just tell a dean. Thank you.